Again, go ahead and keep texting us, 630-386-5306 with any other questions. We're right into question and answer. So we've had a lot of stuff that we've covered. Like I said, you probably took a drink out of a fire hose trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, that was me the first month. So, but the question I have is, what was the one thing that jumped off the page that you wrote down that you said, that's the value that I need out of this. That's the thing that's going to help me achieve my biggest problem, my biggest challenge. What's the one thing that kept occurring to you for this whole time? Or the one thing that jumped off the page, Chris?
For me, just figuring out the different personalities.
Really?
Yeah, that's the main thing. If I can figure out the personality, then you can know how to approach them with a sale or basically anything in life. You know how to, because if they're expressive, then they may be more, you know, they may need to express themselves, and you may have to do it a little bit more, I guess, softer or something like that, right?
Okay.
Or,
yeah. How would you think you could do that?
Actually,
that's a good question. How would you think you could find that out from someone? You think you could ask them, hey, let me just ask you a quick question. You're like, well, what do you, a couple shapes here. You're like a cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball.
exactly.
And you get them in order, and then take them here. What causes you the most pain or conflict? In order. Out of order, things being out of control, things being boring or not fun, or conflict with others. When you find that, now you have what's called the personality and geo-pain quadrant, so you have an understanding of not only who they are primarily, but now what the things that causes them the most pain, and start showing them insights. They'll be surprised and they'll be like really intrigued.
You gotta get a handle on it.
And we can teach you how to do that. We can teach you how to do that.
So Chris came up with a great name for that. What did you call it?
The all-star treatment.
I love that.
So he brings people on their call, and then he introduces them, and he says, hey, Mark, could you give them the all-star treatment? I'm like, sure.
And the reason I came up with that is basically because, you know, because when people may come and they may not know, they obviously they don't know, or, you know, they tell them a little bit about it, but it makes them feel special, and then you're telling them about themselves, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Outstanding. The all-star
I
treatment.
like that perspective.
That's what we're going to do.
Because then it gives permission for whoever's doing it to go ahead and actually do it, and it's not invasive.
Right.
You know, it's not like, oh,
What is this all about?
Right.
You set it up.
Right.
You can say I do something a little differently. I help people get the all-star treatment. Is that something you like? I'll just bring Mark on and help you out, help you find us.
And then after you go through a couple, then you just ask the questions, you bring them on, and then you say they're 43-21 Mark, there was this. So rather than me asking the questions, you can then ask them the questions and say, he's gonna, you know, interpret it for you. And then you bring it on, you give me the codes, you know, upper left, upper right, lower left, you just go right around clockwise, give that to me. And then after you hear that 5 or 10 times, then you can start to go ahead and then give the interpretation of what it means.
Yeah, because it's the most comprehensive personality screening help on the planet. Good question.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard of it, 3 weeks ago.
The other thing, you'll start associating people, like for example, if you get an engineer, you more than likely he's going to be analytical. So a lot of times you can start placing jobs with personalities.
Right.
So like a scuba instructor, or somebody who does, you know, parasailing, or somebody who's like a DJ.
Yeah,
Right.
So I'm intrigued by the 4 brand new. Typically culture is you don't criticize things, but then you don't grow if you don't criticize things. And so you guys came in really cold, especially you two. You guys have had, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, show up to this thing.
Yeah, it worked for you, and not even working for somebody. And so, like, what suggestions would you, the 4 of you, have on what we could do to make this better? And you're not going to hurt anybody's feeling. It is what it is.
I don't know, I felt more comfortable at the coffee connections, honestly.
Why? Can you speak up so we can hear you?
I felt more comfortable at the coffee connections. I don't know why, I just, I like that atmosphere a little better. I'm feeling pretty like, I don't know.
What is the coffee connection?
That's a great question.
That's right by us too.
Yeah.
So it's over in Aurora on Tuesdays at 6:30 at the Riverside
AM.
AM,
Okay.
yeah, at the Riverside Cafe. And so So it's taking this and actually meeting on a weekly basis to have follow through. So once a month, you get kind of motivated, and then you forget it and come back and, oh, that's right, I got to do that again. And so when you do it every week, then it really sticks. And so you'll see probably 10 times the speed. And then once you attend that one, then you can start your own coffee connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a group of individuals. So, you know, like last month, you both said that you wanted to be leaders. You guys didn't manage up like in the most effective way, up and out.
No, we didn't.
So I don't know if you guys are following through with what you say you're gonna do.
Well, I brought this idea to my brokerage, and I would like to host my own meetings or trainings for everyone in our brokerage when we have our weekly group meetings.
So-
That's why I brought him here.
Right, which is awesome, okay? If I had known that sooner, if I had known each week what you guys were progressing, you guys would probably be 10 times faster, further along. You'd be a lot further along, because as soon as you do, you know, one step, then the next step, you don't know what the next step is, and so once you do step one, so you meet and say, okay, Mark, this is what we've done. So manage up and manage out is a concept that it's communicating with the people that need to be communicated to, and it's pretty much, what did I learn? What action am I gonna take from what I learned? And what do I need to learn next? And those three things, so if you say you're gonna do something, whoever gives you direction, gives you the idea, whoever, whatever that is, if you email them with that, then they can see how you're progressing, and they can say, oh, okay, you did this, here's the next thing. And so when you learn something, and then you say, this is what I'm gonna do, I know a lot about you and what's gonna happen. Like, I probably know what the next step is, and if I know what that next step is, I can give you further guidance, and you'll move faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, good.
I think that's a little piece of the pain of the magic as well, is follow-up.
Yeah.
You know, like, put the pressure on and then say, and then this is what I'd like you to do, so I know how you're gonna do it.
Right. Right, because it's like people can go a lot faster. People don't think that you can build trust quickly. Of course you can build. I do it over the phone. I don't need to do it in person. I can do it in 15 minutes on the phone. By asking certain questions, saying certain questions, and then I tell them about themselves that nobody knows, they didn't even know, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, you're a genius, that's amazing. And then they trust me. So it can happen really fast, and when we learn how to make that happen really fast, then we develop trust with a lot more people in a lot less time, and we help a lot more people, which means we make a lot more money. I mean, it's not brain surgery or rocket science, but the 3 Ds, disciplined people, disciplined thinker, discipline in taking action, those 3 Ds are critical. So, Steve, one of the answers is you take, it's crab in the bucket, learned it from the Lakota Indian Reservation, a chief out there. And so he went ahead and said, he said, Mark, you know, it's the poorest county in all of the U.S. And he says, you know, we as Lakota Indians, we're like crabs in a bucket. I'm like, what does that mean? He says, when a crab tries to crawl out and it gets all pulled back in, anytime you have poverty, not just, you know, financial, relational, you know, so the inner city has, you know, financial poverty. The suburbs, they have relational poverty. In the inner city, they have relational, you know, wealth. In the suburbs, they have, you know, relational poverty, financial. And so everybody's got poverty. Everybody's in a bucket. And so the secret to doing what you want to do is find the crab that's just about ready to get out of the bucket of the person you're leading. And then you go ahead and help them out of the bucket. They're not responsible for helping everybody. They're just responsible for 3 people because they won't listen to you. It's like, well, yeah, Steve, yeah, but he's this and this and this. So when you tell a crab in the bucket something they don't want to hear, they immediately discount you. But it's harder to discount people getting out of the bucket or crabs, so you find one person, and then the killer whale training principle, another DNA for life, you just play with the people that are doing the things that they should do. So if you play with John, it's like, you know, he's doing this, hey, get up, and all of a sudden you lift him up, then all of a sudden it'll help 3 more people, and then those 3 people will help other people. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Other suggestions, critiques? What can we do to make this better?
What do you think, Andy?
I think I need more coffee.
You need more coffee?
You
So,
do not need coffee, you need a preset. No coffee, no coffee. Slows you down.
Does it?
It does.
He has never had coffee in his life, so that's why he's saying that.
It's not the best.
And yeah, it gives you a little jump,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're down, and so you're like, oh, I need a bigger jump. So, you know, when you figure out what your life vision is and what your potential is, you wake up like on adrenaline. You go throughout the whole day on adrenaline. You just, you're like, you know what, because your mind has more powerful drugs than anything on the planet. Learn to control it, and you'll have more than enough energy.
cool. Anything else? Okay. Areas for improvement? This is the time to do it.
I think Mark needs to try some coffee.
How about the caffeinated?
Yeah. So next, that's a good idea, actually. I like that. We're going to have to figure out how to implement that. We're going to create client-for-life relationships next time. Okay. So once we have a larger number of referrals, take this and start implementing this. Take the handouts that you've got. Take the notes from Miriam. Go back online and start looking at the videos because this is being taped. Go to thevisionproject.net and you're going to see resources, live events, and then you can see year 2. And it's going to be under this month. It's going to say generate a large quantity of referrals. And Mike, who's taping all this, is doing a great job. And he's going to get these up here in a very short period of time. Next month, creating client-for-life relationships. That's the key. Now, once we've developed relationships, I mean, this is the key. This is how we lock them in. We market, pre-sales, sales, servicing, client-for-life. Creating profitable, lifelong relationships. And we're going to help you do that next time. Have a great day. God bless. We're going to have,
Next month.
yes,
We're
gonna be in-
Wednesday, we're gonna be in the larger room,
big room.
and on Wednesday evening, there's individuals flying in from around the country to participate next month. And so Wednesday, we have dinner, I think at the White Chocolate
Grill.
over in Naperville. And Wendy will get some information out, Katrina and they'll work together on getting information out. And I have found that the pre-event, post-event, that is where, that is where some of the most amazing things happen. This is structured, very disciplined in what it's going through to learn certain things. But when you interconnect just on a casual basis, that's when the magic happens.